the Boise exodus. People who moved here in a frenzy are now quietly packing up U-Hauls and leaving. But why? They aren't leaving because Boise is a bad city. They are leaving because of the expectation gap. The gap between the idyllic mountain town they saw on social media and the reality of a booming, growing, sometimes struggling, mid-sized metro. Now, I love this city, but I simply won't let you move here blind. If you are looking for a sugar-coated sales pitch that pretends everything is perfect, click away now. But if you want the brutal, unvarnished financial, cultural, and physical truth about living in the Treasure Valley in 2026 so you can stay here for 20 years instead of 2, this is the video you need to watch. We are breaking down the money, the traffic, the politics, and the smog. So let's get to work. Let's start with the reason most people leave. The math. It just doesn't work. Historically, Idaho was sold on one premise. It's cheap. Let me be very clear. Boise is no longer cheap. Look at this chart. In 2019, you could buy a mansion for the price of a shack in California. Today, the median home price in Ada County is hovering around $550,000 to $600,000. But here is the gotcha. If you're selling a $2 million home in Seattle and buying cash here, well, you're winning. You're royalty. But if you are a first-time home buyer, or if you are moving here expecting to save massive amounts of money, you might be shocked. Interest rates and low inventory mean your monthly payment in Boise might be exactly what you're paying in Portland or Denver right now. And this is the killer, the Idaho wage gap. We call this the sunshine tax. For decades, local employers paid 20% less than the national average because getting to live in Idaho was considered part of your bonus. That was fine when houses were $200,000. It is not fine when houses are $600,000. We have great employers, Micron, Simplot, Albertsons, but outside of those major players, local wages have not kept up with housing. Here's my advice. Do not move here without a job offer in hand. Do not assume you can find a local job that matches your remote salary. And if you work in a niche field, marketing, specialized law, high-end tech, there might only be 3 companies in the whole state that can afford you. Finally, let's talk taxes. People hear red state and they think low taxes. Well, yes and no. Our income tax here in Idaho, it's not 0 like it is in Texas or Washington. Also, our grocery tax, we do have taxes on our groceries here. You do get a credit back, but at the register, you're going to be paying tax on those eggs and milk. Property tax, as home values exploded, our property taxes followed. So please, before you pack, run the real budget. Don't use a generic online calculator. Use Boise's current tax rate and Zillow's current prices, which those won't be perfect, but pretty close. And if all that math makes sense, awesome. Now that we know you can afford to live here, we need to answer the bigger question. Do you actually belong here? Let's talk about culture. Okay, so we covered the money. Now we need to talk about feelings, because the second reason people leave is they feel like outsiders. Boise is famous for being kind. We even have a slogan for our community, Keep Boise Kind. And it is true. People will hold the door for you. They will smile at you on the greenbelt. But there's a layer underneath that you need to understand. There is a local tension regarding growth. Longtime locals have seen their city change rapidly. And sometimes that frustration gets directed at the transplants, specifically anyone from California. It's mostly a joke, but sometimes it's not. If you move here and immediately start talking about how we did it better in LA, or why doesn't this restaurant have X, Y, and Z, you might struggle to make friends. The key to winning here, humility. Come here to join the community, not change it. If you approach Boise with curiosity and respect for its history, people will welcome you with open arms. We also need to address the political climate. Idaho is a conservative state. However, Boise, within the city limits, is actually quite purple, even blue in some areas like the North End. But the moment you cross into Meridian, Eagle, or Star, it becomes very red very fast. If you are deeply progressive, you might love the North End, but feel out of place in Eagle. If you are deeply conservative, you might feel frustrated by Boise City Council politics, but feel right at home in Star. You need to choose a neighborhood that aligns with your values. Do not assume the whole valley is the same. And finally, the pace. Boise is slow. Service is slower. Drivers are slower. If you are coming from the East Coast or a major bustle city, this will drive you insane for the first 6 months. You will be standing in line at the coffee shop, tapping your foot because the barista is actually taking the time to talk to the customer ahead of you. You have to embrace this. If you can't downshift, you're not going to last. Now, let's talk about the thing everyone complains about: traffic. But wait, you say, I'm from LA. I know traffic. Well, here's the difference. In LA, you have alternatives. In Boise, we are geographically constrained. We have mountains to the north and deserts to the south. Unlike cities with a web of freeways, the entire valley relies on just 2 main lifelines: the I-84 running east to west and Eagle Road running north to south. And that's it. If there's a wreck on I-84, the whole valley stops. If you buy a house in Star but work in downtown Boise, you are signing up for 90 minutes of your life in a car every day. My pro tip: test your commute. Do not trust Google Maps at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. Come drive it at 5 p.m. on a Thursday. Now, the biggest physical surprise: the air. Boise sits in a bowl. In the winter, we get the inversion. Cold air gets trapped in the bowl, and warm air sits on top like a lid. It traps car exhaust and fog. It can be gray, gloomy, and foggy for weeks at a time. If you suffer from asthma or seasonal depression, January in Boise can be really tough. You might not see the sun for 10 days straight. And in summer, smoke season. Because we're in the West, wildfire smoke from Oregon, California, even Canada, and Idaho drifts into our bowl and sits here. August can be gorgeous, or the air quality index can get into the unhealthy range where you can't go outside. It's not every year, but it's frequent enough that you need to know about it. Also, a quick reality check. Boise is high desert. It is brown and gold for a lot of the year. If you are expecting lush green forests like Seattle or the East Coast, it's not us. We're a sagebrush and dry foothills. I personally think it's beautiful, but I don't want you to be surprised when you look out the window and the landscape here is arid and open, so I just want to make sure your mental image matches the reality before you get here. Okay. Now that you have the full picture, let's talk about strategy. Because usually people don't regret Boise itself, they regret the specific area they chose. Let me give you the quick cheat sheet to the Treasure Valley so you can find the spot that fits you. The North End. The vibe in the North End is walkable, bikeable, beautiful historic homes. It is more liberal, close to our amazing trails, and more expensive. If you prefer walking and biking, you love coffee shops, and you want all that charm, it's for you. The downside is the houses will need work. They're older, and the parking can be a nightmare. The second, the Bench. This vibe has lots of mid-century modern. It's a great central location and more diverse. It's great for first-time homebuyers who want to be close to downtown but can't afford the North End. Now, Meridian. The vibe here is new construction, big parks, chain restaurants, and suburban perfection. Great for families with kids. The schools are amazing. The parks are incredible. We have Settlers Park, Kleiner Park. The downside, the traffic. It is that center of the bottleneck that we spoke about. Eagle. Eagle's vibe is very upscale, mature, riverside estates, conservative. If you want land, luxury, and safety, Eagle might be right for you. The downside is the price, and it can feel like a bubble. Nampa and Caldwell. The vibe is agricultural roots, it's growing fast and has great wineries. If you're wanting more land for your money and you don't mind the drive, look at Nampa and Caldwell. The downside is the commute. You are farther away from Boise. So, is moving to Boise a mistake? For 40% of people, maybe. If you come here expecting cheap California with big city amenities and perfect weather, you'll probably leave within 2 years. But for the other 60%, Boise is a paradise. If you love the outdoors, you want a place where people look you in the eye and say hello. If you want a safe place to raise a family or reinvent your life, the struggles are worth it. The inversion clears, the traffic, well, you can listen to your favorite podcasts, and the people are worth it. Here is the roadmap to making this move successful. You won't regret it if you do these 5 things. Please, first, secure your job. Don't gamble on the local market here. Second, visit in January. See the gray. If you can handle that, you've earned the wonderful weather we have in July. Third, test your commute. Drive Eagle Road at 5 p.m. on a weeknight. Fourth, check your politics. Ensure your neighborhood aligns with your values. And lastly, partner with a local agent. Trust an expert who knows the red flags that don't show up on Zillow. The bottom line is Boise is an incredible place if your expectations match the reality, and especially if you value community, safety, and the outdoors. And if you're thinking about making the move, I'd love to help you plan it the right way so you have 0 regrets. So do me a favor, comment below. What is your biggest fear about moving to Idaho? Is it the snow, the housing market? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, please like and hit that subscribe button. I'm Rachel, helping you live your best life in Idaho, and I'll see you in the next one.